Good morning. There he was. I personally truly got to see there he was down there. A lot of people will talk about this God high. We'll talk about, being overwhelmed with the Lord, but leading up to this trip, that was something, not that I was struggling with, but something that I needed a little clarity on. Being this my senior year, my first and last year, it was dive in, go all out, all or nothing. So leading up to it is nice, you get the logistics figured out, you get to hang with your team, figure them out, create this new dynamic. But going down there, it's a whole new ball game. And during the week is, it's going, it's flowing, we're hanging with some kids, it's going great. You have little God sightings here and there, but back home was still kind of weighing on me a little bit, because I look to the Lord and I say, Lord, I know who I was growing up with a pastor as well. I know who I am now, but Lord, who am I going to be tomorrow? What's going to happen next? And that's something only the Lord knows. So I'm down there, and I wanted to go down there with an open heart and an open mind. And I asked him, Lord, give me some clarity. Give me a little bit of something to work with. Where do I go next? And the Lord, in his humor, said, nope. I'll give you some clarity, but my kind of clarity. And all of a sudden that happened when Pastor Verigi gave a burden-relieving service to all of the youth. Because when you're down there, every morning and every evening, there's a speaker, a youth pastor, that kind of thing, and he speaks to us. And every once in a while, some things are just a little off, and it weighs heavy on us. And Pastor brought us into another chapel, and he said, you know what, let's talk. And something that, like I said, I've been struggling with is, who was I? Who am I? I know who I was, I know who I am now, but who am I going to be tomorrow? Is wrestled with human emotion. And in the future, the Lord, I believe, is calling me to be some sort of a psychologist, some sort of one. A psychologist with a twist almost. And I love discovering that human emotion. Because regardless of what race or religion, as Pastor was saying, there still is that human emotion regardless. Our logic may change from person to person, but we all have anger, we all have jealousy, we all have lust and love and greed. And that's something that humans ties us together, but as Pastor clarified for us, is that's a gift. Yes, that is something that all humans have, that the Lord gives to everyone regardless of what they believe in or not. That's something the Lord gives to all of us, but that is a gift. And I've found God here. And that's why I didn't get a crazy God high off this trip. I know He's in here. But what I wanted was clarity here. And like I said, growing up with a pastor that passed away when I was 13 and moving a couple times, He's there. And He's got a plan. But going on the trip, the Lord said, Miles, I know that I'm here. But let me show you. Let me put little things here or there. And let's see if you can pick up on them. And I truly did. And Pastor's unburdening of us was truly something. And that is what I'm excited about. Is then, and then the rest of the week was I started making the connections. Because if I know God's here, not if I can find Him here, but if I know He's here, and I know He's here, and I can make that connection, then, like I said, that's a whole new ball game. And when we got back, we're in the hotel, and we're kind of debriefing the whole situation, and we read a verse in Matthew that said, the workers are few, but the harvest is plenty. And so many times us youth get the idea that Mexicali is the goal. That is the goal. That is that is where you're supposed to go. That is doing the whole 9 yards. That's where you're serving. Praise be the Lord. But part of that clarity, part of that connection was realizing Mexicali is not the goal. It's a tool. Going down to Mexico is getting a new perspective. Yes, the Lord is here, just as he is in Indonesia, just as he is in Mexico, just as he is in Switzerland. The Lord's here. But getting a new perspective is a tool that we can bring back here. So many people are struggling with, I don't want to leave. Why do I have to leave? But the Lord helped me answer that in saying the whole point is to leave. To go down there and help those kids, learn with those kids, preach to those kids, but have them teach us and preach to us and learn from them, to come back here and then give that away. Not hold on to that, but give that away. And that was part of the connection I made between knowing God's here and feeling God's here, is part of going down there but knowing to come back, wanting to come back. Because the workers of us may be few, but the harvest is plenty. And the harvest isn't just down in Cuernavaca, Mexicali. The harvest is here. The harvest is there. The harvest is anywhere. And that helped give me clarity on, Miles, who are you going to be tomorrow? Being this psychologist with a twist. Going out and finding the people that don't necessarily know the Lord. Not from a pulpit, but from person to person. Connecting on that human emotion, but then saying, hey, he's here too. He's not just in your heart. You may feel him, but if you know him, he's there regardless. So to know him is completely different than to feel him. And so many times I feel bad for the youth that go down there that just get this idea that, it's the God high, and I know I'm going to come down from the God high, but it's all just about the service. So I truly am blessed and thankful to listen to the Lord and to be blessed with Pastor Verghese' sermon that week, and giving my testimonies down there of different situations where God said, hey, Miles, look. Because while we're down there, I know I'm going to continue a little bit, but while we're down there, I'm working with our church, Pastor Leonardo's church, as Mr. Hall can testify to that. We're just painting, we're just hanging out, and the leadership group from our tent camp was driving around Mexicali looking for other churches. And right when they're about to say, we're going to turn around. We can't find any church. We're just going to turn around. They turn on the street and they find our church. They see our white van. They're like, oh, hey, neat. So they pull in and they start hanging out with us. And we're like, you know what? We're just going to bust into song. And so we just bust into song and prayer. And speaking with the dean, the head honcho of the whole trip, he was saying that was truly God sent for them. They weren't looking for us. But I truly believe in that moment that the Lord said, Miles, look, here's some clarity. When they pull in and they see us, even though they weren't planning on seeing us. Because that happens so many times with us. We plan on something, but the Lord says, look, it's something else. And that's why just going down there with an open heart, open mind, coming back, I feel full. Not a God high, but it's different. But feeling this connection, I feel full. And I wanted to just share that a little bit with you guys about how Mexicali is not the goal. It's a tool. And I encourage anyone that wants to go, of youth that wants to go, to truly go, but not to look at it as that goal, but simply as a tool. Because our lives are not in Mexicali. Our lives continue on so many other places. But we can use what God gives us through Mexicali, what he teaches us, what we learn from there. Even though we may ask for something else, what he gives us is always up to him, because he knows what's really going on in the end. And even though I went down there searching for a little bit of clarity my way, he gave me clarity his way. And for that, I'm eternally thankful. And I'm glad, I'm also thankful that I could share that with you guys today. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. Well done. God bless you. Awesome.